Welcome back to Etc. Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along with my co-host, Mark. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm being the cozy one today. Victor's being the
slut.
The one with the,
I'm being the slut.
being the one with the legs out. Just want to say this is probably the first time in I don't know how long I've actually seen Victor's legs.
Really?
Bro, you wear pants every time.
I feel like I wear shorts pretty often. I guess maybe not to the show.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'm like looking. I'm like,
these are like my favorite shorts.
I'm like, something's different about Victor.
Like, his legs.
I can see.
Forgot how hairy he is from the bottom half.
I can see his legs. But no, yeah. Good. How have you been?
I've been good. To be honest, I have a story that I want to share, and then we could get into what we want to talk about.
Nice.
I had a dream.
Okay.
And you know what that means.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bring out my notes. Because I woke up and immediately I was like, I have to write this down. I was like, I can't let this go.
I had an epiphany.
I woke up, I was like, if I lose this, I'm going to be so upset. And I was half asleep and I just typed out keywords just so I can piece it together. So I'm going to pull this up.
At the prophecy for him.
All right, so for y'all that don't know, my dreams, whenever I do have them, then I remember them. They're the most like morbid, like vivid shit ever. And every time I tell them on the podcast, I scare the shit out of either Mark or Quentin. So I'm just going to preface it with that, and then we'll get into the story. So it starts off, I died. That's how it starts.
Wow. Okay.
I was dead before it even started.
Okay, well. Right.
But I was conscious of my dead body. Like, I saw my dead body. I was in my dead body, but I was, like, aware of what was happening.
Okay.
So I was lying on, like, a bed. It seemed like what would it be, like a hospital bed, but it wasn't kind of situation. Like, it didn't look like a hospital. I was just in a bedroom. And I was laying there, and then like my parents and like friends, like I think you were there, like friends and family was there, right? But I was dead. I had like, I guess my soul was like looking at my body or whatever it may be. But like y'all were talking to me as if I was still there. Like y'all knew my spirit was there, like, and like instructed me on shit. So y'all were like, yo, like you're dead. If you want to come back, you got to do this. And what they tell me to do is they hand me like a gallon. And they're like, you got to drink this. And it was a gallon of what looked like iced tea, which is very on brand for me. They're like, you have to drink this. And if you drink this, like, you'll come back. Like, you'll, go back into your body and everything will be normal. It was a gallon of what looked like iced tea. And on the label, it was a picture of Snoop Dogg. And the brand of the iced tea.
I'm sorry. I can't. Like,
Mark, what? I died. This is not funny.
I'm just like, yo, what? Like, everything just, as you keep talking, I'm just like in like disbelief as to how this happens. But okay.
Yeah, so they hand me the gallon. On the label is a picture of Snoop Dogg. And the name of the drink that they gave me is called Bow Wow. Not Bow Wow like the rapper. Like, Bow Wow like his catch, like Bow Wow, like the shit he be saying. So I was like, all right, this is Bow Wow juice. I gotta drink it, and they were like, it tastes really nasty. We're gonna be honest with you, like it tastes nasty, but you could like mix it or like wash it down with something else to like help with the taste, so you can drink it and come back. So I don't know why I decided to mix it with Rice Krispies. So I poured it into Rice Krispies and I ate it like that, and all it really tasted like was like watered down sweet tea, like diet sweet tea or something. It tastes like if you ever poured a drink into a cup, finished it, and then poured water into it and drank that. Okay. It was like that. The fact that I can remember that is kind of weird, but that's what happened. So after I drank, I didn't even drink the whole gallon. I drank like a cup, and immediately I saw like a flash, and
do a flashbang in the room.
I saw a flash, and then I was like back in my body, but I looked to my side, and there was like a baby lying on his stomach, and it looked up at me and like laughed, and then there was a flash again, and I was back. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
So that happened, and I'm fully back, and I'm like, oh shit, oh my God, like I felt normal. And then they're like, oh my God, like you're back, like, take it easy, like you just fucking came back from the dead basically. And I was like, nah, I'm cool. I get up and I just have like jelly legs, and I forgot how to walk. So like I had the feeling in my leg. I remember having the feeling, when you like hit your elbow or like your arm falls asleep, my legs felt like that. I guess I was like out for a minute, so like, or the blood wasn't in my legs, so I just had to like relearn how to walk or like wait till I got the feeling back. So I was just like fucking jelly legs throughout the whole room. And yeah, so that happened, and then eventually like I did like start to just get the feeling back in my legs, and I'm pretty sure the dream just cuts off like that. Yeah, so then it jumps immediately to another dream. This is no longer me dead, whatever it may be. New dream starts. I'm driving in my car in like a dirt road type of thing. Or like, you ever seen like drift, like where people like ride motorbikes or shit, or like drift, like four-wheelers and shit? Mm. It was like that type of road with my car. So I was driving home and then I hit this turn and like I fucking like lost control and like hit the wall. So I was like, oh my fucking God, like I just fixed my car. I'm thinking in real life. I was like, I just fixed my shit. Like, why not again? So I'm like, fuck. So I drive it. So it's like just the side mirror and shit's fucked up. So I was like, fuck, like I'll drive it home and like I'll figure it out. So I drive home and home is my old house on Fairhill. So I'm in the back alleyway of my old house. Oh, like late as shit. It's like pitch black out in that alleyway, like fixing my car up. And then the door opens of my house and my dad walks out. Vividly as if I still lived there. And he starts walking out, so I look back at him like, yeah, like I fucked my car up. So he's walking out to me. And when I look back to my car was way more fucked up than when I had looked at it the first time. And then we just start fixing it, and that's how the dream ends. And I woke up and then I immediately grabbed my phone.
Okay. Well, that second part was a little bit more believable.
Yeah.
First one, my God. I mean, I thought that was a movie. This man said, as I drunk it, I looked at the bed, there was a baby in it. The flash of light happened. And
that was the definition of a fever dream.
Yeah, like, what the hell? This man saw his past self, or if not, his future kid.
Yeah.
And then flash of light.
You know what? Every time I dream of, like, a kid, or like, I feel like it is my future kid. Because every time it happens, like, they end up being, like, I end up treating it like it's my kid. Like I end up like carrying it around or like doing shit with it, like where I go to a supermarket or some shit. Right. So I genuinely feel like I'd be dreaming of my future kids or something.
There you go. You have it, everybody.
You don't have those kind of dreams?
I mean, I have dreams once in a while. It sucks because I used to have dreams a lot. I don't know what happened. It's just they don't kick in anymore. It's like they used to. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I really just don't know why. Maybe it could just be more of like a sleep. Maybe it could just be my mind is always so racing that it just never has time to relax and go into those, spots. But yeah.
A lot of the time, at least from like my experience, is like if your sleep schedule is not consistent, then it's like you can't get into a rhythm where you have like, oh, you fall asleep and you have like all your phases of sleep.
But that's the thing though, because like I feel like I go to sleep kind of frequently. I just feel like I don't get enough. But I also think that, because usually you ever have those moments where you like, you're asleep or whatever, right? You wake up in the morning and then I guess you get up for a little bit, but then you go back to sleep. And you never have that second wave of sleep. Whenever I have that second wave of sleep, I dream. I always usually, 9 out of 10 times, I always dream when I have those second rounds of sleep. But whenever I initially need to sleep on my actual sleep, I never like dream at all. It's probably like once in a while. And if I do, it's like so patchy to things I don't even remember as to like what the hell I was dreaming about. I was like, what the hell is this?
It'd just be like a small hint, a small detail of it that just doesn't make sense.
I'll just be like, I'll probably be walking, I grab something to eat, or I'm watching something, but then that would just be it. Like it wouldn't be any more context than that, just that. And I'm like, what the hell was I dreaming about? But when I have my second round of sleep, bro, I'd be like, it'd be a whole like adventure, but I don't even know why.
Yeah. Because I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know, because how there's like stages of sleep. So maybe you're like, when you wake up, you're like cutting it off and then it's just like, I don't know. I ain't no sleep therapist, but.
I wish I had dreams though. Cause like, I mean,
technically you do, you just don't remember them.
Yeah. I just don't want to like have the dreams like you. Yours are prophecy dreams.
You would think I'd do like drugs or like I would drink a lot or something, like, cause I feel like that's what usually, people are like, oh, I can't do this before I go to bed cause then I have nightmares. Like I don't do any of that.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Like I'd eat and drink the same shit for the most part every day. And I drink like once a month maybe.
I definitely do feel like though dreams do consist with certain things that either you're thinking about throughout the day a lot or you're doing something throughout the day. Because a lot of the times I remember sometimes I'll have dreams and it'll be like, because I had that thing on my mind a lot or I was thinking about it a lot in detail, that later in the night when I go to sleep, it'll probably pop up in my dream. Probably not too crazy, but I know it will pop up in my dream a lot. Because people be like, oh, like, I had the dream about this. And I always like ask like, oh, like, were you thinking about that person or were you doing that thing like recently or anything like that? And they're like, oh yeah, I did. I'm like, well, that's probably why. Because it just kind of kicks in.
I can confidently say I wasn't thinking about Snoop Dogg or Bow Wow. I might have been thinking about Ice-T because that's my shit. Rice Krispies, I know why I thought of that because I had them for breakfast, like going for work when I'm in a rush. The frosted ones. I don't know if you had those before. They're good.
Nah, I haven't.
What else? And that's about it. I think those are the only details that like pop out to me. So
There probably was something with like Snoop Dogg. You probably watched something.
yeah, I mean
like some
he's
video.
everywhere.
Exactly. You can't get.
He's
away
in
from
every
Snoop
fucking
Dogg.
Corona commercial now.
Yeah.
With fucking what's his name from that show with Terry Crews. They got him canceled at one point.
Oh yeah.
Andy Samberg.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that was what it
Snoop's
was.
everywhere. But yeah, bro. I don't know what be going on with me.
I mean, this isn't the worst. Just want to let everybody know.
Oh, out of my dreams? Absolutely not. This was very calm.
I thought it was gonna be something way worse. I mean, you started off saying you died. So that was
so the worst part, I forgot it.
yeah.
Whatever happened that led to my death was
His
gone.
dream, Victor was late to his dream. And
Yeah.
he came
He's like, wait, I missed the intro.
Yeah, he came at the best part.
I was in traffic.
Yeah, so he came in the best part where he didn't have to
Suffer
see his death. Yeah, so that was good, you know.
If I remembered the part before that, I probably woke up crying or something. Cause yeah, my shit I'll be seeing every fucking detail. I swear I dream. They say you don't dream in color. I swear like my shit is in color.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel yeah, it is weird because I'm trying to think like maybe I feel like I do see some things in color sometimes. But
You know what's another thing that I hear that like I feel like for myself I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. I don't know if I ever have. Like if you've ever had like a sex dream, people say that you never dream of the actual like penetration.
It's kind of weird.
Like whenever you do, like say if you're like having a dream about like whoever and you are like kissing or whatever, like you'll dream about the kissing or anything that leads up to that. But the actual part that is like sex, you don't dream it. I don't know if you've ever like, if you were like, oh,
I literally could never like think of that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of
a time where that happened.
That actually happened.
So when somebody said that, I was like, oh shit, like I never thought about that.
Wow, that never happened.
Yeah. Yeah, supposed to be.
Funny.
And then also like if you see random faces in your dreams, supposedly those are people you have seen in your lifetime that your subconscious is just.
That you say you have?
Yeah, so like say if you walk past a stranger in the street and like 10 years from now you have a dream of like that person's face just subconsciously because you saw them.
I don't know.
It's never like a made up face. It's always a face that you've seen.
Well, yeah, I never think a face is a made up face. It's impossible to make a made up face. Like you ever think about when you watch shows or you watch like anything that's animated, even for that matter, that face is based off of somebody's face. It's not just made up. You can't just make up a face, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, thinking about that just makes me think of the Matrix. I don't know why.
My dream or the
just
face
in general, just a face thing. Mr.
Yeah.
Anderson.
But one thing I want to make sure that we talk about that we cannot leave this room without mentioning is this submarine situation. I don't know how closely you've been following it.
I mean, it was kind of hard not to really follow it, but I mean, I wasn't following it in a lot of detail. I know there was 5 people, right?
Yes. Before we get into this, I want to say, rest in peace to these people. Very unfortunate what happened. I'm sorry for what I'm about to say after this. Go ahead.
No, you go. That was kind of really it. I was just trying to make sure I had the exact number of people that were on there.
Yes. So it was a voyage of 5 people. 4 of them being like passengers, 1 of them being an employee of the company, or actually not even, I guess still employee. It was a CEO of the company that does these excursions.
Let me chill. I'm trying to make jokes, but I'm like, let me chill.
Bro, I've been joking all week, bro.
You're drawing. You're going to hell.
Bro, have you seen the internet, bro? The internet does not give a fuck.
I tried to stay away from it because I just think like, bro, if that was me, I would not want y'all out there just joking. Like, I
want people, when we become famous, if God forbid there is some tragic way that I die, I hope people make memes of it.
You really want people to make fun of you?
Yes, bro. I want laughter.
Well,
I want laughter to come out of what happens to me.
I guess if it's not technically my fault, yes. I guess it would make sense.
Especially if it's my fault. Make fun of me.
Okay, so...
I'm a dickhead.
Okay.
Bro, if I was, for example, Fresh Prince, when we talk about Hillary's fiance, and he's like, Hillary, will you marry? And just fucking hit the canvas because he bungee jumped and died.
Oh, yeah.
Make fun of me.
Yeah, and see, but in that sense, yeah, that would make sense.
I want
but that wasn't your fault for the bungee.
fair,
thing
but I made the
happening.
decision to go.
True.
Same thing with these guys on the submarine. They paid
True.
$250,000 a person. I'm gonna roast you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for some, you know, but
If I die, I mean, when I die, hopefully I live a full life. But when I die, I do not want people to be sad on my like. I want people to like be lit and like happy and jokes. Make my funeral a roast.
So if something were to happen at that moment where that tire hit your car and could have killed you,
bro, what? Hire a comedian to call, like hire Jeff Ross or somebody to just light my shit up, bro. I would be so happy. I would be, you might see my body like smile a little bit in the casket.
All right.
I'm putting this on record so y'all know.
All right. So
please make my funeral as fun as possible.
Okay. So now I know. Now I know to not be serious at all. Got you.
My family might be mad, but like, laugh. Well, bro, especially if that tire went through my windshield or something, bro. That is hilarious.
Just let your parents know then.
Yeah, I've told them, and my mom got mad at me.
Yeah,
because there was like she saw like a TikTok of a funeral where people were like playing music and like dancing and like eating. It was like a memorial service, I guess, and they were like, "Why are they like doing?" I'm like, "Yo, like." Especially because we just had one ourselves, so I think she was like a little upset about it. But I was like, "Yo, like, God, I'm sorry to talk about this in front of you because you don't want to hear it, but like if that something were to happen to me, like I would want that." And she was like, "Don't talk like that." I was like, "I understand, like I don't want to talk like that around you, but in all seriousness, like if something were to happen to me, like please do."
Hire someone to moonwalk down the aisle before they
bro, whatever you gotta do.
Before they talk about
make my casket funny, bro. I don't care. Like make something out of it. I don't want people to be bawling their eyes out the whole time.
I'll put a bunch of memes on your casket.
Even like when we previously had like because I feel like you have to. Even when my family had like a recent like memorial service for somebody that passed, on the way there, like I was making jokes, not about the situation, but just making jokes to lighten the mood up because like it's a heavy thing. Like you need that. You can't be.
Oh no,
it's already tough enough. Like
no, trust me, I understand. I think we both agreed that we're just very not serious people.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to serious things. Like I can't. And I mean, maybe it's just because I haven't been around those things really early in my life. So there's no way for me to cope with it.
Especially me as well. Like I haven't had it. Like that was my first one that I could like vividly remember in a long time.
Exactly. So it's like for me, I'm just like, dang, that's crazy. But like, remember when they did that job? Like,
yeah, like that's what I was doing, or just like as we're getting ready to go, like just little dumb shit just to like lighten the mood. Because once you walk in there, people are gonna break down. Like you gotta lighten it up a little bit. And you already spent the week prior crying your eyes out every night because of whoever you lost. Like,
yeah, like an example of reason why I'm not serious at my job. I think it was not this week that just passed, but the week before. I think it was like on the last day, so probably like Friday. We were about to close. And there was somebody at the door. We had already closed the doors, but there was somebody trying to get in. And I think one of my managers went out to talk to him and asked like, "Oh, like, what do you need?" She had said that she had just got robbed and she needs like basically to get a new debit card and stuff like that to be able to use her money. We already like pack it up. We already about to dip. So I was like, damn, that sucks. That's terrible. I was like, she should have got robbed like an hour ago. I was like, I'm sorry, but we ain't helping you out now. You should have got robbed an hour ago.
That shit probably takes time and everything.
So I was like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to wait the whole weekend.
No, because I don't know if you ever heard like the Wayans brothers talk about it, because you could imagine that fucking family, bro. Like, ain't shit off limits.
I'll just laugh as soon as they say, "Hey, how?"
So supposedly he was talking about like one of their family members had passed, and they were talking about how their family is at funerals. He's like, "Yo, you have to make light of the situation." And he was talking about, he's like, "Yeah, like a cousin of ours passed. We went to a funeral, and it's like Marlon Wayans and like it's the whole family there, bro. Like they're all comedians. They're all legendary-ass comedians." So it was an open casket funeral, and he said that they had his cousin buried in like a t-shirt, sneakers, and jeans. And he does a good impersonation of his brother, but he was like, "I'm gonna be honest, if there's a dress code in heaven, that brother ain't getting in." And they all started dying. It's like you gotta make light of that, like. But
that's funny.
To the submarine, yeah. So if you don't know the full details, I don't know how you do not if you're at home watching this at this point, but yeah. So it was a submarine, and it was like basically like a tour ride type of thing to go see the Titanic underwater, deep down where it had sunk. And the cost per ticket was $250,000 per person. The passengers were 4 billionaires. So they were just, I guess, so bored or just really love exploration to be like, I'm gonna spend $250,000 to go see this.
But wasn't it a student
Where?
in the submarine too? Wasn't there?
I don't think so. From what I remember, it was 4 billionaires, and then the one guy was a
Bro, I could have sworn they
CEO.
said that there was like,
unless
like
it's
you
a student
said.
billionaire.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it was like a student or something. I don't know.
It might have been. There's so many shits about this story. So yeah, so they got to go down there, see the Titanic. First off, I just want to say, $250,000 is outrageous. Especially when the movie's out there, you could just watch that instead.
I guess it's just seeing the real thing. That's what they want.
They could just show them any boat. Like you don't even know if that was the Titanic or not.
I mean, you'll probably find evidence that it is.
Yeah, but
it'd be really sucked. I mean,
it says Royal Caribbean on the side.
You're just like, this is a scam. And then
I'm like, bro, I was like, yo, there's a rusty iPhone down there. What you mean this is the Titanic? This was recent.
Then out of nowhere, kink. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, they went down there and it was like a little, just to see everything. They went this Titan. I think it was called the Titan. Was the submarine that went down there, and yeah, so they initially like I guess lost connection or lost control of like the thing as they were going down there, and ultimately like thing went left, and it was this whole widespread thing for like a week of like people trying to figure out what's gonna happen to them. And then the best part of it, the first thing that I heard of it in the first place that I was kind of like, all right, like I don't know what this is about, but I don't think it's that big of a deal of news because I didn't know, like I just saw like submarine da. So I'm like, okay, like it's just another article. We see too much shit on the daily anyway to pay attention to it. But then they were talking about how it was controlled by like a Logitech controller from like Amazon. It was like $20, and people were roasting them for that. And at the beginning of that, I was just like, all right, so these people like cut corners like crazy and shit.
There ain't no way I'm paying $250,000.
And you got
you're using to control my thing. It's fucking $20.
Now I'm not super against it just because I know that it's a common thing. A lot of like stuff out there, like a lot of equipment out there is operated by like Xbox controllers and shit. But like just because it's a good tool to like use for stuff like that. Because even like you think about our PCs, like we plug in our Xbox, you could do whatever with it. I know in some sports leagues, I believe the referees, it might be the NFL or the NBA or something like that, where if they're controlling the instant replay, at one point, I don't know if they still do, but they used an Xbox controller to control like the speed of the replay or whatever, because it's an analog stick, it's a little different where you can kind of like control how much you're moving it. So it is a common thing that is used on computers. I don't know if it should be used for something that important as a submarine carrying
lives,
multi-billionaires and lives, but nonetheless it did. And so there was this whole thing. It was like, oh, like they have X amount of hours of oxygen left. And people started with their theories of like, oh, like what if one of them kills the other to like preserve more oxygen? Because the less people in there, the less they're taking oxygen. It gives them more time. Some Lord of the Flies type shit. They just kept stretching it. And yeah, a lot of like horror conspiracies start going out there. Because what if, like they were like, oh, like what if you purposely just promise the other person that I'll make sure your family's taken care of with my money or whatever. Like weird shit. People that have no job and they just be taking too much time up. But ultimately, like we were looking for them all this week until yesterday, I believe it was announced that they found debris.
I think it was 2 days ago, maybe Thursday, I think.
Yeah, so that happened. And so the whole time they were looking for them, and from what I heard, that they didn't even make it down there. Like apparently they died during the descent to the Titanic. And did you hear how it happened?
No, I mean I heard that it imploded.
Yes. So for y'all that don't know what implode means, explode, it's the opposite of that. Yeah. So instead of popping out, it literally compressed itself like a fucking can of soda. Yep. And they were like killed on impact. Apparently it took half a millisecond for the submarine to do that, which is insane. The submarine's probably the size of this room, and in a millisecond, it just.
So that's my thing though, like, I'm trying to. Okay, so it went down there, right? And we're saying that it died. The controller died. Is that what we're saying?
I think they just lost connection.
Lost connection.
I could be completely wrong in that. I just am kind of assuming right now.
No, I'm just trying to figure this out because if we're saying it imploded, that means it imploded once it got down to the proper, I guess, depth.
Yeah, like after it reached a certain like sea level, the pressure just like overwhelmed the vessel and it imploded.
Yeah. I was trying to explain this to one of my coworkers. He didn't understand this whole idea of implode and explode.
That's what I was saying. That's why I was like, explode, opposite of that.
Yeah. So I was just like trying to explain it to him. He was just like, "That's crazy." He's like, "I don't know how that happens. Like, it just sinks and crushes you." I'm like, "Yeah, that's literally pressure. That's
the water, like, you know, when you dive underwater and your ears start to like feel that, it's the same idea except times 1,000,000.
Exactly. And I'm just like, it's kind of crazy that it's literally just like liquid, but that shit can literally just like kill you.
Yeah, it's just I mean, it's you think about it, it's a bunch of weight on you because water weighs, and the farther you're down below it, and gravity, like, is, I don't know, science wild. But I don't know how true it is either, because I saw this literally as I was grabbing gas before I came down here. There was like a photo of the inside of the vessel, and supposedly they had like a monitor screwed into the wall of the vessel.
So what does that mean? Oh, like you can see inside.
No, like they had a computer monitor, but they screwed it into the walls of the vessel. So there was a hole in the vessel. So there was nothing separating the pressure from the outside and the inside. But they drilled a hole.
Yeah, I need that monitor up, bro.
Put it on a table or something, bro. Like, don't stick it into the walls. That is the difference between water and not coming in and out, and oxygen not coming in and out.
Billionaires are not smart, you know.
But to me, that was my main complaint when somebody was telling me about it, because they were like, "Oh, did you hear about the submarine?" Da, da, da. And I'm like, I heard about it, but I don't know like the finite details to really know like what the whole situation is. And they're like, they explained it to me, and I'm like, so you mean to tell me they charge $250,000 a head? These are all billionaires. That business caused probably billions upon billions of dollars of insurance. The guy who owns the company is probably filthy rich. You mean to tell me none of them thought, oh, we should have a second one as a backup in case we need somebody to retrieve them down there, or we need suits that we can have them put on that'll take them back up to the surface if shit goes wrong, or literally anything, or a way to pull them back up in an emergency, or like a fucking, you know, like spaceships, they'll hit a button and like a portion of it will break off, and then they can, you know, whatever needs to happen. Like, there were so many like precautionary measures that they didn't make, or even like something to preserve oxygen, to extend the shit, or even make sure that the fucking walls are like triple checked to make sure that imploding doesn't happen. Because supposedly multiple excursions have happened with this company. This wasn't the first trip.
So that's what I was going to ask. I was like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this isn't the first time of them doing this. So that's why I'm like, what happens if something does go wrong? Like, what do y'all do? Just nothing? Like, because like that clearly something goes wrong. Y'all need to do something. I don't just let them go down there like, oh, damn, sorry, they just got the bad batch today. like no. So that's why I'm like wondering, like, how the hell do y'all let something like this kind of just slip, and then like just really just like, oh shit, like now we're scrambling. Like, what can we do? It's like, bro, y'all should have had something kind of like playing, like you said, a string or something that just kind of gets them to come back up.
Yeah. So, and in my head, I was like, oh, these guys are gonna get sued. But at the same time, it's like, you sign so much paperwork to go down and do that stuff. Even with anything like a roller coaster or any crazy like bungee jumping, you sign so much paperwork that it's most likely it's hard for you to get anything out of it. And somebody like found the waiver, and there's like death is written like 5 times in like the first paragraph, just to like hammer in that there's a potential you could die doing this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I would love to be able to see that, but then again,
really?
It's one of those things where it's like I feel like I would just look at it for like 10 minutes and then
I have no interest of like
I'll be like 10 minutes and I'll be like, okay.
I'll scuba dive or like deep sea dive with like a tank, but like that's still, you can still see.
You don't want to see SpongeBob, bro?
Nah, somebody made a joke about that. It was like what they see outside the window of the vessel, and it was just bikini bottom. And then somebody showed Mr. Krabs swimming. It was like, Mr. Krabs, we found out there was billionaires on the John. He's like,
she
changed
look for them.
The
price for the John.
The one that I saw that when I heard the story, I immediately thought of this, that had me dying, was somebody green screened the episode of Drake and Josh when they got stuck in the treehouse in the submarine. So it's like, Drake, where's the door? He's like, right there. He's like, go open it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I definitely would say the ocean is nothing exciting to me. It's a bunch
we
of
don't
fish.
know. We barely know anything about it. I'd go to space before I go to the sea.
No, yes, 1000%. I love space. I would go to space 1,000 times and back. I don't care if there was a mission that they were like, "Yo, we need some volunteers." I'm putting my hand up first, 100%.
I volunteer.
Like I don't care. Don't get me wrong. It's scary, and there's definitely been you know, incidences where, you know, takeoff and ship just explodes, or
I mean, there's
coming
a popular
down,
video, yeah.
even coming back to Earth, you can literally just kind of die from just not right things happening in the ship, and die from just
And you need
the
like
heat.
hella training just to go up there.
I know. That's the one thing that sucks too. Like, I'm like, bro, I don't want to train just to go up there, but I know you have to because of all that force and shit. I would love to go to space.
But it's unfortunate what happened to them. At the same time, it was their call and they didn't suffer. It would have sucked because I remember it was a Thursday or Friday when they announced it. Like, I guess they timed how much oxygen they had, and they were like, at this point, they should have run out of oxygen by now. At least they didn't make it to that point, and they died way before that. Just because imagine just being down there and suffocating to death. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
They didn't even have time to register the fact that they died or feel pain.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. We're going to close it here because my voice is shot. So I'm just going to get myself out of here. Mark, where can they find you?
You find me Instagram, etc. Mark, Twitter, Mark, Victor. Where can they find you at, and etc.
Find me everywhere at etc. Victor, etc. stuff is at real, etc. All links for our stuff is in the description. Thank you guys so much for the love and support so far. And we keep doing what we do. And we're going to do this again next week. And we're going to keep trying until we get to where we want to be, until we're billionaires. If we want to go on a Titanic, submarine, excursion, boat, or space.
Space will be the one, I think. An episode in space? So that'd be lit. Bro. That'd be lit.
I'm like, wait, where's the mic going? Wait. But us trying to clap on beat.
True. Welcome back, everybody. You can't even hear the clap.
I know.
No sound.
Yeah. But we love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.